Hello and welcome. Today we will be talking about workplace professionalism, how to be successful in the workplace, brought to you by the Career Development Office. So, before we dive into how to be successful in the workplace, let's talk a little bit about what not to do in the workplace. So after a little research, we have found the top 7 reasons people tend to get fired. Number 1, consistently being late and or absent. Number 2, breaking company rules and policies. Number 3, not getting along with others, which also goes hand in hand with number 4, complaining and gossiping. Number 5, poor work performance. Number 6, lying, cheating, and stealing, which can come in all different forms, and we'll talk more about that later. And number 7, controversial social media posts. So, what do we think workplace professionalism means? Well, workplace professionalism is really the opposite of all the things we just talked about. And this consists of good attendance, maintaining a positive attitude, following company rules and policies, getting your work done on time, getting along with your coworkers and your supervisor, following dress codes, and also having that good hygiene. Now, let's talk about how to keep your job. But not only are we talking about how to keep your job, but also how to succeed in your job. This is where we will dive a little deeper into some of the things we were talking about earlier. So, first let's start with communicating with others. You may be thinking, why is good communication so important in the workplace? Well, communication definitely affects your productivity and your effectiveness. There are many different types of communication, so it is important to be aware of your verbal communication, your nonverbal communication, and also those written communication pieces such as email and text messages. There is an actual fact out there that your tone of voice may be the reason we get in so many conflicts. Tone of voice is also well known as causing more conflicts rather than the actual words that you said. So keep in mind, just be aware of your tone of voice along with the actual words that you choose when you are speaking with people you work with. Make sure that you're also listening and you're asking questions when they are appropriate so that once again you are being productive and effective within the workplace. And lastly, keep in mind the phrase emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is being able to manage your emotional responses to any stressful or challenging events or people, whether that's in your personal life or in your work life. Next, avoiding dishonesty in the workplace. Earlier I told you this can come in many different forms. So, avoid actually stealing things from your coworkers, customers, or employers. Also avoid any type of lying, cheating and falsifying employee records, timesheets, reports. So that could mean lying about how much time you've been at work. That could mean falsifying any reports that you have to turn in. Definitely stay away from doing those types of things. Once again, time theft. If you are constantly coming in late or you're taking long lunches and breaks and that's not allowed within your company, you want to stay away from that because technically you are stealing time from the company. And the same goes for doing personal business on the company time or just surfing the internet on Facebook on company time. Have a strong work ethic. So a strong work ethic really boils down to being committed to your job, working hard, and taking that extra initiative. Make sure you're also completing your tasks on time and doing them well. Strong work ethic can also be seen through the way that you dress. So make sure you are dressing professionally and appropriately for the job that you are in. You will see that the gentleman at the bottom of the page is wearing business casual. Many places wear business casual. However, if you work in a more corporate environment, you may be asked to dress up in a suit or wear all black or all gray. So make sure that you know what the company is expecting of you before you start working there. Same thing with the lady over on the right. She is clearly wearing a uniform, but there's also probably a policy saying that your uniform needs to be neat and tucked in and that you need to wear a belt. These are very important because the way you dress is conveying a certain message to the people you work with. Manage your time wisely. Being on time really means that you care. I love this quote there that says, "Being early is being on time. Being on time is late, and being late is unacceptable." So basically, anytime you are a little early, even if it's 5 minutes, you're going to be looked at in a good light. Of course, we all know things happen, and so it's important to apologize if you are behind, but not to constantly be making up excuses. And also, remember to complete your work on time and try not to procrastinate. Now, here are a few time management tips. I will not read them all out to you right now, but please take a look because these are some great tips to follow. Keep your positive attitude. Smiling. Smiling is so contagious. It really shows that you're excited to be there. You're excited to be at work, or even maybe you have an interview. It's so important to walk into that room with a smile on your face. Another way you can keep your positive attitude is by respecting your coworkers and pitching in, and even saying little things like thank you and you're welcome, because that goes a long way. Getting enough sleep. Now, I know this one can be tough for some people out there, especially maybe you are going to school full time or you're working a full time job as well. You may have a family. But I will say, getting at least enough hours of sleep completely affects your attitude. And once again, try to stay optimistic, or at least be able to manage your emotions in any type of stressful event. Working together. Now, this is also a huge one. No matter what type of job you have, you will have to work with people or as a team, at least on some level. So make sure you're doing your fair share of the work. Make sure you're actively participating. It's also important to respect the boundaries of other people and to respect differences in opinion and to help out where you can. And lastly, it is important to be able to adapt to change as well. It's just a fact of life that change is going to happen in all jobs and change is going to happen in life. And employers really are seeking people who are going to be okay with those challenges and people who are going to be able to adapt to change. So change can come in many different forms. Maybe you have to take on a few other responsibilities. Maybe you have to work with difficult people. And maybe it's more of a time constraint type of thing, and you have a project that needs to be done sooner rather than later. Some people actually say that they work better under pressure. so it all depends. But either way, an employer is looking for someone that can adapt to that change on some level. Thank you for listening to our workplace professionalism tips. And if you are in need of any further career guidance, please visit us at the Career Development Office in the Love Building on the second floor, Suite 206. Thank you.